Welcome to the podcast. Oh,
Good
I
morning.
pretend I forgot to hit the countdown. That is hilarious. I'm glad I didn't say what I was just gonna say. Welcome to the Folly Forward podcast, everybody. You're not allowed to know what we were just talking about. That's background stuff. That's like Patreon shit down the road. You have to pay a membership to understand what we're talking about. So hi Alicia, what's going on? Give us the lowdown. You're in your van.
Hi, good morning. I'm in the van. I don't know if
And
you
she
can
may
see.
freeze a little bit, but if she does peace out of here, she's going to hook up to her hotspot, and then I will fill in the blanks until she is back. But she is in her friend's driveway in the van and
In
hooked it to their
Virginia
Wi-Fi
Beach.
in Virginia
Yes.
Beach. Yes.
Yeah.
So what's
And
been
I'm
going
I'm
on? Give us
here.
the update since we were drunk on gummies.
Well, a lot has happened since then. I have completely moved out of my house, so all of my belongings are either in storage or in the process of loading up into this van. I stayed in
Nice.
Virginia Beach so that I could go to the Patriotic Music Festival this weekend and have the chance to see some friends and say goodbye before I start making my way out west. First stop, Asheville.
Yay! We're going to do a show here, hopefully.
Yes. And I
That would
even
be
have
awesome.
something extra special in the van prepped and ready. Hold on. Wait for it. Look.
Ooh, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Dress. We'll have to fill
Yes.
everybody in on that.
So I'll be
We'll do
bringing that.
we'll do that whenever you come up and we're together because we can record at my house sitting job.
Yes. I'm excited.
So first stop, Aville. Then where?
Yes. Actually, I might make a pit stop. I was going to reach out. I have a girlfriend that lives in Boone, North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and one that lives in Hickory. So I'm going to see if either one might be available this week as a little pit stop to see them and say hello on my way to you. But I'm planning on being in Asheville on Friday.
Nice. I know. I'm
Yeah.
excited. So yeah, we'll have some content for you guys this weekend because we're going to be playing and around Asheville, getting into some things, and then now when you leave Asheville, you're going through Tennessee.
Yes. So my plan is to head towards Chattanooga. Never been. I've
Nice.
always wanted to check it out. And then I'll
Oh,
head
you're gonna
down
love it.
south to New Orleans. I have a friend that lives there, so I'm going to stop and say hello.
Nice.
It's actually one of my late husband's classmates from the Citadel. So him and his fiance live there, and stop and see them. And then we'll continue on towards my first major like destination or event, I would say, is it's a van life festival, and it's in Lander, Wyoming. So it'll
Oh
be
my
my very
God.
first van life festival. I have to be there at the end of June.
Damn.
So
It's going to be
yeah.
so much fun.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
so
I
excited.
need to still try and figure out when I'm going to hook up with you the first time. At least get the first one locked down.
Yeah. Well, when we're in Asheville, we can look at a map and kind of map out some of the things.
Yeah,
I
Glacier
started doing
National
that.
Park is off the list.
That's because you're like, well, I'll come there, but I don't want to go on any hikes because I don't want to get killed by a bear. I'm like, what? There's bears
Yeah,
everywhere.
I know. I was watching a video yesterday on, I guess it was probably on TikTok because I'm obsessed. And it was these people, they were sitting on the side of the river in wherever Glacier National Park is. And you could see that they were just sitting there, their legs were sticking out, and somebody was filming, and here runs a grizzly bear. Like literally, they're up a little higher and the river's right below them. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say the grizzly bear ran by. He was being chased by something. He was huge, and it was probably 30 feet away from these people. And of course, I went down a rabbit hole reading all the comments because people are like, "Look at
Yeah.
you guys all
That's
just
the
chilling
best
out on
part
the side of
about
the river." About TikTok?
I yeah, I love reading the comments. That's like half of the make the video even funnier most of the time.
Yeah, I know. Most of the time, I
But
prefer the
yeah,
like.
every time into Glacier, I've seen a bear.
No, yeah, nope. I'm
Are
not
we
signing up
buffering
for
a
that.
little?
You are, yeah. You want to get on your hotspot?
Okay. Yeah, I
Let's
can
shoot
do
the
that.
shit
I'll
with
do
them
that
for a
real
minute.
quick.
So, you guys, today we're getting into decisions, and that's something that, especially at this time in me and Alicia's life, we're interestingly enough a lot on the same kind of spectrum, I guess, because we're both same age, both single dog moms, both have an opportunity to kind of go and experience, and we've got all these freedoms. And with that, I've found personally, with that comes a lot of pressure to make the right decision. Are you back? I hear you. So what I found, me personally, the more options I have, the more overwhelmed I get. I don't know if any of you are like that, but it seems as though if you've got one or two or three choices to make, you can kind of eliminate and pick the best one for you pretty easily. But if you've got all these options, like for me, I don't know where I want to move. Do I want to stay in Asheville? Do I want to go? Like I told Alicia I'm vibing off of her because I want her to take this van trip and go out and play and enjoy herself, and then determine where she is going to settle. And it occurred to me this last visit to Virginia Beach just how much I miss having her. So I'm filling them in on like decision making. And I pretty much told them while you were gone that the more options I have, the more stressed out I get. So if I've got like one or two or three things to choose from, like I can pretty much pick pretty easily what is the best meal, what's the best. I'm the kind of person that could go to McDonald's even though I've been there 101 times and I'm looking at the menu like it's going to be the Last Supper. Like just order something. But I find that if I've got more opportunity, more options, I get more overwhelmed because I feel like there's a higher risk of making the wrong decision. And then so I told them while you were gone
that's like the exact opposite of what I'm doing. Like I'm like every day I'm like, all right, what do I want to do today? I don't know. There's like 17 other things I could potentially be doing today. All right, let me just pick one and go.
Yeah, and there's such a joy in that. And that's what I want to get into today is how we, I kind of want to determine by the end of the episode, like, are we similar in decision making? Because, we are similar in so many ways, but we're also different in so many ways. And so I told them selfishly, and this, that you're going out on this year adventure. And it occurred to me, and I don't even know if I told you this part, but this last time I left you in blue was very hard on me. And I was like, damn, I just feel like every time we hang out, we bond that much more.
Yeah.
And I was like, it just occurred to me, which you do know this part, that I want to be closer to you guys. I want me and Marabella to be closer to you guys, even if it's, it would be ideal if we were 5 minutes away from each other. But I would love if we were at least within an hour of one another, because because of the time of our life, because of our similarities and where we are in our lives, the opportunity to have so many adventures and to like not only nurture our relationship, but like be a support system for one another is massive. And I guess I just am, as I get older, I'm putting so much more priority on that. So it just occurred to me, I want to be close to where you and Blue are. And because I don't have any like emotional or any ties really at all to Asheville, I could pick up and leave and start what I'm doing here anywhere I go, that I selfishly am letting you go do your trip and seeing where you land. And then from that point, I'm going to make a decision on where I want to go, because I guess I have spent my entire life so much so in survival mode that I didn't really have an opportunity to focus on what I wanted, if that makes any sense. Like I was so busy trying to navigate these shitty relationships and doing all those things that I didn't really have time to stop and take a breath and say, what do you want to do with your life? And now that I'm older, I value the things that I didn't appreciate then, because when you're in survival mode, you're not in a position where you're nurturing your friendships. You're not in a position where you're like, what do I want to be when I get older? You're bare fucking minimum. So now that I'm older and I've got my shit together and I'm doing the mindset work and all that stuff, I'm like, now is the time. Like, what a better time than now, when we both are young, we still have our looks about us, our tits are still high enough on our body that we can go out and experience life, have so much fun. And I'm like, I want to do that with you and Blue.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that it's a mutual feeling. Like, I'm so grateful that we reconnected and have had a chance to really get to know each other again, in a sense, because for many years we didn't have contact. So I'm grateful that we're now in each other's lives, and I want to definitely continue to see you more often than not.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm just made it like a focus I've realized what's important, and spending time with people who you have fun with. Like for me, taking bike rides to the beach on a Monday is something that I want to be doing.
Yeah.
So I've learned that having some big giant form of water is definitely in my future. Again, I don't care if it's a lake, a river, an
Yeah.
ocean. Like I'm not trying to be picky about it, but I'm just going to wait and see where you land and
Yeah.
when you land and where you decide you want to, when you're ready to hop out of the van and you're ready to stay somewhere for any length of time. I'm like, okay, well, how can I get there?
Yeah.
And we'll just go from there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a fun year for sure. It's going to be a fun summer
Yeah.
of exploring places when it's warm. I think there's a lot of places I think I would love to live, and then I have to remember, well, it's only this nice in the summer.
Cold as a witch's tit and an iron bra in the winter. Mr. Rodney's here. He says, good morning. I'm heading to the park to do some hills with the weighted vest. You know, that's what I like to hear. Get that movement on, my
Nice. Have
friend. I
fun,
know.
Rodney.
Yeah, get out there and get her done. So I popped up a couple questions and I just wanted to throw them out. And one, because we've all been in a point of making decisions with me and my separation, my choice to make a separation from my ex-husband. That was a big life decision considering I never got married before. And we were married for literally 5 minutes before the shit hit the fan. And so like making all those decisions, one being to walk away from that relationship and not nurture that, because I emphatically knew I was not going to be with somebody again that did not support me. I wasn't going to be flexible on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we're just at a time, we all have decisions to make at any point in our life. But when you get to be our age, I feel like it feels, maybe it's not that much bigger of a deal, but it feels like a bigger deal because it's like you can kind of see the finish line a little bit more than you could when you were 20 something. So I popped a question up. Do you have a strategy for making decisions?
You know, I think for me, it kind of depends on what the decision is. Is it like a
Mm.
life-changing decision like what I'm doing right now? You know, so it's what this idea of living in a van and traveling around the United States and having the ability to go on adventures and basically every day have something new and fun to look forward to
Mhm.
is something I didn't just make this decision overnight. Like, so for like the major life decisions, I definitely put some thought into it and like start talking about it, start researching it, looking into how exactly I could possibly do this. And so this was an evolution. But for smaller decisions for me, hi Howard, it would be like, what is it that makes me happy? Like, I think I'm at this
Yeah.
point in my life where I choose peace and happiness.
Mhm.
So regardless of what the choice is it going to bring me joy? Because if it's
Mhm.
going to bring me joy, then yes, I want to go do that thing.
And it sounds simple. It sounds like something sewn on a pillow, but that is a reason that most people don't pick.
Yeah.
And until you get into a point where you've gotten diagnosed with something and, you know, your life is at stake, or, you know, you just get to a point where you've had it up to here with maybe terrible relationship that you're in or something. And I think that I do my best to look back on my life and my choice to stay in so many bad relationships for such long periods of time. I don't want to look back at that like it was a waste of time, but it's really hard not to. And so at this point in my life, I joke with people and I say, when it comes to the decision to be happy or to not be happy or to be in a relationship with this person or that person, that part's covered, because that I have made so many bad decisions, especially in the way of romance and love, that my brain won't allow me to do it anymore. So so it's almost like if I feel disrespected by somebody of the opposite sex, it's almost like my brain kicks me out of the equation and just goes on autopilot. Like, we're not going to let you get back in those positions again. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for that, because I did spend so many, pretty much all of my adult years in shitty relationships. And now that I have an opportunity to start fresh, it's a it's a it's a very freeing feeling that I didn't really ever think I would have an option to choose. Like, I just kind of thought this is kind of at me for up until the last couple years. I thought life was about you get what you get and that's it. You get a set of cards and
Mm.
you then play those cards to your best ability. And that's not the case. I actually get to pick up the deck of cards and pick my own fucking cards.
Yeah. I mean, that's that whole victim mentality that a lot of people get stuck in.
Yeah, so people don't choose joy. They don't think I'm going to make a decision. I mean, that's a very empowering statement that you made. I choose based on what's going to bring me joy, make me happy. And I would say that there's a very low amount of people, low population of people that do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if you ask them, they would say, "Yeah, I make decisions that are make me happy or best for me." But I don't think people really do that. It takes courage to do that,
and it's not easy. So, like you said, it takes courage. You know, choosing to walk away from certain things that are negative in your life, either situations or people in your life that are negative, like removing that toxicity out of your life, is something that's difficult. It takes courage, but it's also liberating.
Yeah.
Because when you realize that, okay, I'm no longer going to allow certain places or experiences or people to suck the joy or peace out of your life, man, it's like your whole attitude can shift from just that.
Yeah. And what's bizarre is like at this point in my life, there's nobody, and I don't mean this like in an arrogant, belligerent way, but nobody will disrespect me again. Nobody. And I'm not going to walk around like, you won't disrespect me. I'm not going to be irritating about it. But I allowed so many people to disrespect my boundaries, disrespect me sexually, disrespect me, my voice. I didn't have a voice. This is specific to men, obviously. I've said that enough. I think everybody pretty much gets that at this point, but I refuse to let it happen again. I don't care if it's a man comes into my life that's the biggest Prince Charming on the planet. You know, he's got all the boxes ticked. If I feel like I don't have a voice or that things that are important to me don't matter, not interested.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think that's a learning process each of us all have to go through.
Absolutely.
You know, I know for sure after my probably 4-year relationship ended back in 2017, like it took me years to even consider dating because I needed to heal from that. And so when I did eventually end up dating somebody, which would have been the last person that I dated, and that ended terribly, I was like, wow, I did all that healing on my own for somebody else to come in and knock me off my pedestal of happiness. You know, I had created this whole happy life for myself, and I allowed somebody to come into my life and make me feel like I wasn't worthy enough to be with him. You know, and so I was like, I am never doing that again. Like,
in that point, you had to make a decision to walk away from somebody that you really cared about, and that is hard.
Yeah.
And it really, when it comes to like decision making, when I look back on my life, every real major decision I've had to make has been pretty easy, except for romantic attachment. That's been the hardest thing. And that, you know, is rooted in my baggage and my childhood trauma and things like that. But
I was definitely going to say trauma bonds.
Definite trauma bonds, like attachment issues, all those things. But it's interesting now to feel this. This is why I want to scream it from the rooftops. And I've got a relationship program that I'm adding to my website to help women with, because I'm so like, it's really just an empowerment practice that's going to be up on my website for people to like, let me kind of guide them and support them through so that they can find a voice in relationships. Because I'm sure that there's a ton of women out there like me that are strong, accomplished, fearless, but they've got that trauma from their childhood or daddy issues like me or whatever the case may be. And they get into a romantic relationship and they lose their power. It's like the longer they're in love or in relationship with somebody, the weaker they get, and they don't stand up for themselves. They lose their voice. Their dreams get pushed to the side. And and I really want to help women with that, because the fact that I don't want to be arrogant and say I've conquered it, because I'm sure I haven't gotten in relationships since I got divorced. So I would have to put that into practice first before I can fully say, and I want to continue to work on it for the rest of my life. But I feel good knowing that I don't have that weighted feeling every day of my life that I have to be attached to somebody to be happy. And I want to help women be able to make those decisions to emphatically walk away from people who are not supporting them. I don't give a
Mm-hmm.
shit if it's a family member, a lover, a coworker, it doesn't matter. Like if you're being disrespected or you're being treated badly, I want to be able to help these women implement big decisions so that they can walk away, because time is of the essence, really.
Yeah. No, I
So
agree. Sounds like a great program that a lot of people could use. The problem I see with most relationships that women are struggling in, it is they, like you already said, they don't feel like they have a voice.
mm-hmm.
And so giving women this, whatever framework that you're doing, letting them know that they can feel empowered to have a voice again, regardless of whatever their situation is in the moment. You can have a voice again. Just start making some changes in your life. Walk
And
away from that person if you have to.
yeah, and it's interesting when you hear women say, like, I can't, like, why is he doing this to me? And it's like, that's such a weak statement.
Yeah.
Why is he doing what to you? How about why are you letting him do this to you?
Yeah.
I think that so many people are dying to be in attachment, that's the ultimate goal for so many people. My brain even goes there when I'm on TikTok and you see that one that's trending where a woman is putting down beers or, whatever the case may be. And she's making a little breadcrumb
Oh,
path and she's like, come, whatever, come. She's trying
I
to,
literally just saw this. It was a guy and his like German Shepherd, and he had this truck, and he had like beers leading to the passenger side of his truck, and the caption said something like, "Looking for my next dog mom" or something like that.
yeah. I mean, it's trending on TikTok. Absolutely. And I when I look at that, I see the fun in it. But what I see is on TikTok, especially, like, TikTok is definitely, because of the algorithm and the way that it works and the ability to have such engagement. I've had more engagement on TikTok, organic engagement, that I've had anywhere. Um, it's such an opportunity to meet people. And what
Yeah.
I found overall is that people are dying to be in connection with somebody that they love, that feels good. Like, people are dying to be in love and to have a co-pilot and a best friend, somebody they can also laugh and eat all the good food with, but they can also have awesome sex with at night. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think,
doesn't that sound ideal? I hope I find that one day, but I'm not willing to sacrifice certain things.
well, that's the thing, is
Yeah.
it is exactly. I mean, I would love to have that. If I knew that I was going to be in partnership with somebody who was going to be healthy and all the things, I'd sign up for it tomorrow.
Yeah. But
It's
we're not, but
just,
I think you and I have set the healthy boundaries that,
yeah.
yes, I want all those things, but I'm not going to sacrifice I don't want to just have somebody there if that person is not bringing joy and happiness and peace into my life. Like,
And that's where it comes back to
yeah.
exactly. And that's where it comes back to the decision, is like, you have to make a decision that you want to be in connection with somebody who's going to respect you. You have to make those big decisions and you have to say them out loud. Regardless of whatever it is that you're trying to do for your life, you have to speak those decisions out loud, and you have to
Yeah.
speak them not just once or twice. You have to let them be a part of your life. That awareness needs to be a part of your life every day. So
Yeah.
this question, do you have a strategy for making decisions? Your answer is like the best possible answer, in my opinion, is, do you light up? Do you feel good with option A or option B? Like, what, or option C or D or E? It doesn't matter. But which one lights you up the most? Which one's serving your highest and best self? Which one is healthy for you emotionally and physically? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked by the amount of people, including myself, that don't make decisions based on what is good for you. Like,
Yeah.
really good for you all the way around. You know what I mean? Not just putting somebody else first. And that's a whole topic for another time that I would love to do, because there's this whole concept in love and connection, romantically or otherwise, where it's not really true unless you put something on the line for it, or you're sacrificing something. And I don't buy into that. That's a whole conversation for another time.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Do you tend to go with your gut or your brain more when it comes to making decisions?
Again, for me, this is like dependent on the situation, but like how I'm choosing to spend my time in the van is going to be really like I don't know if it's like a gut feeling, but it's more of like heart driven. I feel like I do a lot of things heart driven.
Yeah.
Like what is it that, and again, it goes back to what I already said, like what's fueling me joy and positivity and happiness, because I want to go do that. And for me, I'm so excited to be hiking and doing all the fun things outside, just having adventures. So I tend to pick those more. I daily choices like that, but major choices, it's more of like a brain. Okay, let me weigh the pros and cons of certain things. So I feel like I have a good balance for that.
Yeah, see, I love that. I think I have a balance too. I think that this is where meditation comes in for me, because I'm going to do one today before I go off and go co-working after we're done. Just, I found that short meditations are amazing and they bring me answers that I need, but long meditations, unless you've experienced it, it's hard to explain to somebody because it sounds like it's very woo and all the things, but the answers that can come to you past like the 20-25 minute mark of meditation are insane. So if I feel like I'm in a position where I need to make a decision, or like right now, I'm really thinking about a major career change, possibly a brand change. Like I'm really trying to determine how I want to move forward with my life, especially because of a possible move with you. You know, the likelihood that you're going to end up somewhere within an hour of Asheville is low. So I'm
Well,
like,
that's not true.
I mean, where would you go around here that's within an hour drive of me?
I don't know. I like that area. So, I haven't even, I did look and living there at some point many moons ago. So I would say I'm not ruling that out.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Well,
throwing
I
that out
mean,
there.
if you stayed, we can go get the tiny houses and put it on a piece of property. I can tell my mom they can be investors in our property. I think that would actually be really awesome, though. I joke when I
I
sent
really like
Alicia.
this idea. I sent you this TikTok of this woman saying that, and I think she's just doing it because she gets engagement. I don't think she's really actually expecting anybody, or
Oh,
probably even wants anybody to show up on her property. But
yeah,
that
because
whole idea.
people started responding, and she was like, there's people that are doing it right now. I'm not doing it right now. No,
There's
but
like a million people that had responded. So yeah, the idea of having a piece of property where we could both live and share a garden and be able to go do fun adventures whenever we want, but still have our own area that's ours.
yeah.
That sounds great, but I don't even know where to
Well,
look.
here's the
Or
deal, y'all. Yesterday I was on TikTok. Imagine that. I broke my TikTok cherry, and now I'm on there constantly.
your
So
TikTok
this
cherry.
this thing popped in because I put it off for so long. So this ad pops up for I think it was one of the big home stores, to buy a tiny home.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yes. And it was like you could finance it. And they were like $21,000 or something. I'm like, oh my God, that sounds awesome. And so then I started having the dream of us having not even a giant piece of property, but a piece of property where you could have a tiny home. I could have a tiny home. We could have garden, whatever the hell we had going on. And when we weren't there, we could rent it out as Airbnb, whether we left together or we left separately. Like we could help watch each other's shit. You know what I mean? Like to me, that sounds like heaven on earth. Not even kidding a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I know
I know.
people
I
put
agree.
that out there, but I think that would be fantastic for us to be able to do that, because then it would work as a form of income as well,
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about, you guys, is just that decision to like, I think a lot of people in our generation, they're having failed relationships because they're finding their voices. Like our generation is really grabbing life by the balls, as even more so as we get older.
I was going
And
to say, I think because our foundation was set in a time where we had to kind of figure shit out. We didn't have Google instantaneously answering all of our questions. We had to
yeah.
go figure shit out, and we had to go hustle and make money. And if you wanted anything, and so I
Yeah,
think
nobody
because
was
of that,
pandering to us and saying, "Oh, life's so hard for them. Let's help them."
people
Nobody was
weren't
doing that.
triggered by every single thing. Oh
That
look,
is definitely,
I still have my bracelet off from the concert last night.
as you say, triggered. Like that's a show for another time that I would love to get on, because you guys, I could really get on my soapbox about people getting triggered. They get triggered by everything. It
Yeah.
drives me insane. Like, do you have like any, what's the word I'm looking for? Like any personal autonomy or personal strength whatsoever, or does everybody just need to come to your rescue constantly? Because that's what I think of a lot of people in society right now. I'm not even going to try and put them into one little tiny box. I don't know if it's this generation, because there's a lot of people from this generation that have their shit together, that are making big changes. So there's a lot of positivity. I could go into that, but I won't. I'll save that for me bitching and ranting on the 5 Deep podcast. What is
Well, I
this?
do have to say, speaking of breaking your TikTok cherry, I love how you go all in on certain things. Like you went from friggin' 0 to 1,000 with the TikToks. I swear, every time I log in, I see a new one of yours. I'm like, holy crap, you are really doing well on TikTok. So
well, what I love about TikTok is there's a natural engagement there that I have not experienced on any other platform. I mean, I can post something on Facebook with a bunch of people that I know love and respect what I do. I mean, I've deleted so many people off my Facebook. I'm down to like 200 and something people. Not that I really had a bunch, but I would love to get down to under 100 people on Facebook. I would be completely okay with that. You're even 50 people. Like I don't have a need to have all these people on there that aren't engaging with me, because I'm not on Facebook to have fun conversations about the latest thing going on in the world. Like I'm on Facebook, I'm on every social media platform to help inspire women. I'm looking at all of that now as a funnel. And so I don't get any engagement on Facebook. It's like I'll post something that I think is really awesome and that I know is awesome, and it's crickets. And then same with Instagram. Like I get a little bit of engagement on Instagram, but with TikTok, if you post on there and you're engaging with other people, it's like, I guess, more of a sense of a community. And if you go on somebody's live and you have a little bit of engagement with them on their live, they're like, oh, I'm following you. And then there's just like a support there. Like if you're following me, I'm going to follow you. And that I have not experienced on any other social media platform. And at the end of the day, my goal is to get to 1,000 so that I can start going live on there, because there's a lot of people that are on TikTok.
I want to do the same thing.
They're relationship coaches. They get on and they talk about red flags. They support, even if they only have 5 people in their lives, they're supporting these people through being available for instant questions. Like, I'm in a really shitty relationship right now. I don't know how to break away from it. How can you help me find empowerment that I need? Which ultimately my goal is to be a full-time coach for women and help them with their mindset and all that stuff. And in order to do that, people need to know I exist. And I think that's why I've been so driven by TikTok, is because there's not only engagement with men, as you can imagine, obviously, but a lot of women my age that are struggling with relationships. So I've been on TikTok and they'll show up in my FYP and they'll be talking about, I'm healing right now. I'm just getting over a relationship. And I'll comment and just say, here's a piece of advice on the question you asked yesterday or something. And then I get up the next morning and just like that, they followed me. And we've now supporting each other. And like, that's the whole goal for me, is to build the Bliss Broker brand, or whatever it ultimately ends up being. And so TikTok is, I fought it for a very long time, but it's been really rewarding as far as engagement goes, both with men and women,
That's awesome. Yeah.
I know.
I'm not on there enough, but I'm on there sometimes. And so I see how engaging it can be, because you get the chance to interact with not just people you're friends with on Instagram or Facebook. Like mostly you're only interacting with people that you have the chance to interact with people from all over the world. So,
well, that's the thing on my TikTok. There's hardly anybody I know on my TikTok. Like they're all
I do know a few people, but yeah.
I mean, a very small percentage of, I would say, as far as people that I personally know on my TikTok, it might be 5% of the people that I'm following or is following me that are people that I know personally, because people that I know personally don't really have an investment in what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's interesting like that. Like generally your circle, like if you're going into any kind of content creation, or you're trying to create a business or be a podcaster or anything creative, don't bank on the fact that the people that know you the best and love you the most are going to support that, because 9 times out of 10 they're not. Have you seen the TikTok that's going by? And it's generally somebody posting something creative they do or their business, and it's the guy saying, man, my friends are asking me why I'm not famous yet. And then the guy goes, well, have you shared my shit? When was the last time you shared my shit? And that's like my point of contention with probably anything that you've got going on, is Even my Sacred Six group, they don't ever share anything I do. If I asked them to, they would, but I'm not trying to be like a beggar on the street. Hey, can you share my shit? But it's like,
maybe you should stand at the stoplights and have a little sign that says
share my shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
instead
really,
of asking for money, just share my shit.
well, seriously, like people don't share your shit. I don't understand. Like they don't share, they don't engage unless, I mean, the bottom line of it is, and this is something that I know that I don't subscribe to, is most people, their efforts come in if they think they're going to fucking get something from it. And if they don't think they're going to get anything from it, they don't share, they don't engage, they don't hit the, I mean, even just somebody hitting the like button is difficult for people. I don't know what that's about, but I try to support everybody.
They're triggered by the thumbs up.
Very well could be. I mean,
I can kidding.
I mean, seriously, like I'm sure I post a lot of things and the people on my Facebook are like, oh, this bitch again, she's out running every day, 27,000 days in a row. Or look how awesome she looks, or she looks so healthy and she's 46 years old. You can feel the hate energy. It's everywhere. You've experienced it. I mean, you've experienced it in your own neighborhood, getting ready to leave. Like, who's Alicia think she is, going on a van for a year? Like, you know, just haters going to hate. That's kind of the reality of that situation. And I think that that's where a lot of why I don't necessarily want people on my TikTok that I know, because they're not going to be supportive of me. It needs to be people that don't know me that feel like I can help them, or because I'm sure there's people that I know personally. I couldn't tell you in the last 6 months, probably 5 women that I know personally have reached out to me and said, hey, I need a little help. And then I will reach out and say, what's going on? Here's my website link. Go there and look and see how we might be able to work together. I would love to support you in this. Dead silence. You never hear from them again. They're like a year goes by and they're like, oh, they die. We don't know what's going on. But because it's so hard for people to ask for help from somebody that they know, because there's that kind of like ego thing steps in. Mm-hmm. And to be an independent, strong woman, to ask for help, period, is really hard. But to ask for help from somebody that you know personally is even harder, I think, which is why it was such a shock when my ex-husband's ex-fiance reached out for me to coach her. I was like, wow, that took a lot of balls.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. What is the next big decision you need to make in your life? You go first.
Okay. When am I leaving Virginia Beach? I mean, God, so I'm planning on leaving Wednesday, but I might stay till Thursday. So
yeah, because you don't really, you have to be in Idaho when? June?
Oh, no, I have to be in Wyoming. At the end of June. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got a month to get to Wyoming?
Yeah. But there's so much to do between here and there. Like I literally, I don't even know if it's enough time to do all the things that I want to do.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You're going to be on the road for a year. So, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be zigzagging all across the U.S., right?
Well, what I've come to the realization is I'm probably going to have to loop around twice. And I say this because
I have to loop around twice.
There is, I have a very close friend who might end up getting married. She lives in upstate New York in October. Okay. So I wasn't thinking of being over on that side of the country in October. So that means I'll have to go back, basically.
Well, couldn't you fly back if you were somewhere that you wanted to stay?
I mean, yeah. I mean, again, nothing is off the table at this point. I have no set plans except for a couple of festivals I bought tickets for. So I don't even know where I'm sleeping. I don't know what I'm eating. I don't know where I'm going. Like that's it. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, it is. It really is, like not being, I mean, to me, again, you know, my favorite saying, makes my asshole tighten up. But what a fun opportunity to not be on a schedule, not have to be anywhere in particular, and getting to work from the road and, you know, all the things. So
speaking of engagement, by the way, so yesterday I was at the beach for a little bit and then wanted to make sure I had some food in my body before I went to the concert because I didn't want to be drinking on an empty stomach. So I went to this local place called Zeke's Beans and Bowls, and I got 2 different things. Because I couldn't decide, do I want a sweet acai bowl or do I want something that has like some sustenance? Yeah. Because I mean, that had granola in it, but I ended up getting tuna poke nachos. And I could not figure out how without Canva. So I just screenshotted on my photos, cropped it, and made a little poll. I had so much engagement from that. Of
I'm telling you, I
just
even voted. I got the pick the wrong. I voted for the Poke Bowl because acai or have the pronounce not my
yeah.
jam. But yeah, I bet you did.
And I'm like, should I do that while I'm on the road? Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to, I don't know, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Should I do A or B? I was like, I think I should do that because that'll help get some. I don't think a lot of my friends would probably tell me no because then you're telling people where you're going, but nobody knows
I know,
exactly
but
where I am. And
Chattanooga's a big area. I mean,
yeah,
unless like somebody's going to be like some serial killer is going to be in Wisconsin and go, "Oh my God, she's going to Chattanooga." I'm not sure where in Chattanooga she's going to be, but let's get in the car. I'm heading that way.
I mean, I
They're
guess.
projecting their fear onto you. You're packing heat. So, I mean, I dare somebody to walk up to your van. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just don't live in fear. Like I live in the possibility and the excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, why not? I got so much engagement from that one post that I was like, okay, I think I'm going to start doing that more.
I mean, people do that to my mom because she's on the road, doing her pet transports and doing all the things. She zigzags all over the place constantly. I'm sure they don't do it as much anymore because it irritates her, but I know my stepdad used to do it. Like, where are you going? Where are you sleeping? Where are you? And I'm good. I'm not retarded. Like I know
Yeah.
I can make a decision and keep myself. I'm not just out there willy nilly, like sleeping in a random parking lot with no lights and with my doors unlocked. Like I think that people project their fear. And you going out on the road, it is
Yeah.
scary. And so a lot of people are like, yeah, that sounds amazing, but they would never have the cojones to do it. So they
I
are
mean, it
projecting
is.
that
I
fear
can
upon
see
you.
why people feel that way. I mean, it is honestly a bit unsettling that I don't know where I'm staying, and every night. That is the hardest part about doing this sort of lifestyle. When I did it last summer for a month, was like, okay, I have to figure out where I'm going to sleep tonight, because if
Yeah.
you can't, if you don't have a plan, which I'm not really, that's how I'm operating, is with no basic plan. Just sort of ideas floating around there, like, oh, that might try that today.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest part, is figuring out where to sleep. But I'm also
Yeah.
not, like you said, I'm not going to be putting myself in a situation where I'm like, it's a sketch part of town and I'm not going to stay there. Literally, I have driven out of my way from certain places because I thought, this doesn't look like a safe place. So I'm just going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. And I think it's just being out in the open world. We've got some kind of a sense of, but does me being in this house behind a locked door give me more of a sense of security as opposed to being in your van?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm packing heat too, so I dare somebody to come walk in,
Yeah.
but it's that level of, which God, with everything going on right now, that's a whole other 3 podcasts just talking about guns. But yeah, I know you, so I know that you're however you're going to show up on the road is going to be smart for you and Blue.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be making any stupid decisions and putting yourself in precarious situations,
Yeah. That doesn't mean that something couldn't potentially happen. I'm just not going to allow my life to be dictated by fear.
Yeah, because anything can happen to us right
Yeah.
outside our front door. So
Yeah.
So your next big decision you need to make is when you're leaving Virginia Beach.
After that, there's a lot of other big decisions, I'm sure, but
oh, it'll be constant decisions. I mean, I tell people that all the time, from the time that our eyes pop open in the morning, sometimes before our eyes even pop open, until we go to bed, it's decisions all day long.
Yeah.
Eat this, drink this, do this, don't do that. I mean, it's constant. But as far as big decisions, I think for me, do I change my Bliss Broker brand? I don't know if I want to do that or not. How do I want to move forward career-wise? Do I want to get away from cleaning, or do I want to continue to do that? Like, there's just so many big things, but exciting things. I will say they're nothing that feels daunting or sad or scary. It's definitely all very exciting. Like, what am I going to do with the next chapter of my life? And that I'm grateful for. But really, it's going to be, where am I going?
Yeah.
Because I'm so over being in this part of the country that it's not that I don't like it. And if you were to come here and we ended up staying here, it would be a whole different experience because we would be together and life would be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would look at Asheville through a different set of lenses, but If I did move from here, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. And I had this thought last night, and I wanted to tell you this before we hung up today. So I am going to do a series on TikTok, and I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I think I'm going to call it Find Him, Find My Dream Partner. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I'm going to post about myself and about my partner. I'm going to make funny TikToks about it. As a single 46-year-old woman, the world is my oyster, and I'm going to market it as I'll move anywhere. Where are you in the world? If you're amazing and you tick all these boxes, where's
You're
my
gonna
suitcase?
just make one video about that. I'm sure you're gonna get a ton of people. They're like, "Where do I submit my application?"
Right, and that's what I thought. I was like, "Oh my God, what a fun way to get engagement!" Because why not use TikTok as a way to meme? There's how TikTok knows that I love big, beautiful, bearded men. I have no idea, but it's like you get on. That's part of what helps me scroll, because I'll get on and they're just these, and then funny women that are our age that are making hilarious TikToks, like, and animals. So TikTok
Yeah.
definitely knows my vibe.
Yes.
But I thought,
Love the
why not
animal
do it?
videos.
I love the animal videos, but why not do a series on it
Yeah.
and let the engagement, because that's part of how we're able to make next big decisions, is when we open ourselves up to opportunity, whether we're opening ourselves up to meeting new people or traveling different places or whatever, just looking at our life through a different set of lenses, so to speak.
Mhm.
That's where we are gaining all the assists on how to make decisions. Because if we keep doing the same shit every day, keep taking the same road to work, keep going to the same restaurants, keep talking to the same fucking people, you don't really have any opportunity to introduce inspiration into your life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's what, for me, what I love so much about what you're doing is you are basically, that's what you're going to be doing for the next 12 months in large ways, is introducing inspiration in your life by the people that you're going to meet, the places that you're going to go. I mean, I'm just like so excited about it. I can't wait to watch it and be a fly on the wall to all the things you're going to experience.
Yeah.
And what if you meet the love of your life while you're on the road and you're in Lake Tahoe or something? Like, you might want to move to Lake Tahoe, and then I have to figure out how the hell I'm going to move to Lake Tahoe.
I love that you're so willing just to pick up and move wherever.
Well, that's part of, yeah, I am. I have zero connection with Asheville. Like, give me any location, like, I'll go. Because I've been here I moved here in November of 99. That's how long I've been in Western North Carolina. And I feel like I've been here way too long. I've overstayed my welcome. I feel like I've left no stone unturned when it comes to this region between Charleston, South Carolina, and Asheville. Like, it's not that I wouldn't stay either. I love it.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal to Asheville. I think what's going on is I'm chomping at the bit to have new experiences. I'm chomping at the bit to feel that zest and feel alive again, which is what's the same thing that's driving you to go on the road for 12 months. Like,
Yeah.
I'm yearning for that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I was just going to say that, like, even if I ended up coming there and we fell in love with the piece of property and we put our 2 tiny homes, I would still want to go travel and do things. And I think, so no matter where I end up calling home again, because right now my home is my van. I think I will always have that longing and for more adventures, like just to go travel and go explore new places.
And I've thought about it too, with how me and you are both helpers. You know, you want to go from town to town and inspire women by taking them on hikes. And as a mental health specialist, you have that ability to really create awesome packages all over the United States to help these women feel empowered, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have kind of the same concept, but with a different angle. So we're not exactly selling the same service, you know?
Yeah.
And so I've thought how awesome it would be for us to have a home base, and you, me, Marabella, and Blue make it a point, like, that be our income. Airbnb when we're gone, and just book things around the US every 2 months.
Mhm.
You know, you stay at the home base and you do what you're going to do there and get grounded and create packages and help people locally. And then we plan ahead and we sell packages for Yosemite or for Lake Tahoe or for somewhere out in Grand Canyon, wherever. And then we drive together as two different helpers, kind of tag teaming, helping these women. And to me, what you're getting from that is you're getting double exposure. You're getting double the opportunity for marketing, double the opportunity to help and inspire women, and then support for each other.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if the hiking thing is something that you really want to do as a source of income, along with writing books and things like that, I feel like we have an opportunity here to really support each other's next big like entrepreneur hustle. And it's like right in front of our face and we haven't pulled the trigger on it. Like, I think it would be a really killer thing for us to have both the focus on helping women and see what could come of that.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I heard a van or some kind of other vehicle pull up and I'm waiting for Blue. So that's why I was like,
oh, is Blue getting ready to be home from the...
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I ponder that. I'm going to leave you with that.
Okay.
We're at 51 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and let you hit the road because I know you've got a lot of shit to do before you figure out when you're leaving Virginia Beach.
Well, it's either Wednesday or Thursday.
Whenever we chime in again together, we will be together here in Asheville. So we're going to record an episode together. We will let you know and get it scheduled what that topic is going to be about. Please reach out to us, whether it's on Instagram, here at Folly Girls Podcast on Instagram, or you can obviously send us an email at Folly Girls. I don't think I have the banner in here, but does anybody really fucking email anymore? Just find us on Instagram. And reach out to us. If you're watching the replay, drop some questions below. If there's something that you guys want us to talk about, like, we have no problem talking about anything at all. I've got a comment here. Who's it from? Howard says running at Lake Tahoe, absolutely stunning area. Yeah, Lake Tahoe. I've brought it up like multiple times. Maybe that's a sign.
I've never been there, so
it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful area. I mean, it does snow and it gets cold there, but it's one of my favorite places. So anyway, you guys drop us some questions. If there's anything you want us to talk about on any topic, please drop it and let us know. Give us some inspiration on how we can show up to help you guys. And then I'm going to plant that seed in your head, Alicia, about, after this adventure and like kind of building up to, let's start possibly talking about doing something together, and not sexually, but emotionally and mentally tag teaming women.
Yeah,
I think it would be a really amazing.
I love how you started by saying not sexually,
because I'm straight.
We both like men.
Yeah, nothing against the beauty of women. I think you're gorgeous. Had a couple moments in my 20s, but I'm down for the man. So yeah, but I think it would be really awesome for us to like look into doing something like that together. Me supporting what you're trying to do, me making a commitment to market your hiking program, you then sharing people with me, and us creating a really killer package to help women kind of step out of their day-to-day bullshit and live a life that is an inspired life. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of women would do it more if they felt the proper support.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I'm going to leave you with that seed. We're going to head out of here, you guys. Please stay tuned for what's coming up next for us. Alicia will be here in Asheville next weekend and we will record again. So please like, share, and subscribe. Go find us on Instagram, like I said, at Folly Girls Podcast, and reach out anytime. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.